Hello, and welcome to Beautiful Breakdowns, where we break down and then break it down. Today we are going to be breaking down my track, Everybody Knows. And without further ado, let's get to it. On my way to post-production, both feed into our destruction. Met someone, I move it on. Cutting loose our connection. Once I needed your protection. It's over now, time has made me strong. But I can't help but feel ashamed. Few months gone and it's all changed. Met someone, I move it on. Oh, I'm in love, and I think everybody knows. Everybody knows, so I'm trying not to show it. I'm in love, and I think everybody knows. Everybody knows, so I'm trying not to show it. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. On my way, I'm stealing bases, letting go of time and places. Know what I want, getting what I need. Hello, sun, I'm seeing you. Even gray, I'm seeing blue. Kiss me now, leave me on my way. 'Cause I'm in love, and I think everybody knows. Everybody knows, but I'm trying not to show it. I'm in love, and I think everybody knows. Everybody knows, so I'm trying not to show it. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. But it might take a little while. Hoped it might take a little while. But it might take a little while. Hoped it might take a little while to fall in love. I think everybody knows that's the way it goes. Ain't no use in trying to slow it. Fall in love, 'cause baby, everybody knows that's the way it goes. Ain't no use in trying to slow it. 'Cause everybody knows it. Everybody knows. Still in love with you. Everybody knows. Everybody knows is about rebounding. And it was actually originally written as a love song. But I realized after that relationship ended that it very much was a rebound relationship. So it didn't. The song, though it was honest in a way, at the time it didn't feel honest to me anymore, especially once I processed my feelings and understood where my headspace was at that time when I wrote it. This is actually the song that makes me feel the most vulnerable on the album, which might surprise some people. But the song actually stayed exactly the same from when I wrote it, except I added the final line, which is, as you just heard, everybody knows I'm still in love with you. So, at the conclusion of that relationship that lasted like 8 months or so, and I didn't think, honestly, that a rebound relationship could be long-lasting in that way. I thought, once we got past a certain point, I was like, this definitely isn't a rebound relationship, right? No. definitely not. But rebound relationships, as it turns out, can last, a very, very long amount of time, in fact. And yeah, it was definitely a time that I feel a little guilty about. And this song is very much about rebounding and the experience and the process of that. So after my big relationship, a very serious relationship ended, I was devastated, as one would generally expect, after, the end of a 5-year relationship. And yeah, I was really sad, and I feel like, the right move is generally to focus on yourself and work on you and keep yourself really busy and active with friends and all those kind of things. And I was doing all of those things. But it's very easy to, especially in the evenings, and especially when you're living by yourself. Night times are definitely hard. So the distractions are all gone, and you're stuck with your own thoughts. And when you're grieving the loss of someone, you get pretty fixated on that. So I actually went back to dating too soon. way too soon, for my grieving process. And yeah, I actually ended up starting that relationship with the first person to touch me, period, after the relationship ended. And it was my massage therapist. Which is a bit of a no-no. But I'm a massage therapist too, so, it's okay. We walked in with our eyes open. But yeah, I was nowhere near ready to be in a relationship. And I chose a partner that was the absolute polar opposite of my ex in a lot of ways. Which was good to experience, not gonna lie. Actually, it's the first time that I really had ever dated somebody who was a bit more like myself in regards to dealing with anxiety and those sides of insecurity. So it was a good learning experience, but a lot of guilt. I do have a lot of guilt about that time, because it's not fair. It's really not fair to be with anyone else when you're still really in love with someone else. It's not fair to you, and it's really not fair to the person that you're with. So yeah, definitely regrets on that. And it took me a while, because I threw myself into that, and I threw myself into feeling good and being with somebody who was really appreciative of me, and wanted me around all the time, and who was incredibly thoughtful and just honestly a very wonderful person. And yeah, it was a beautiful, beautiful distraction from my pain. And that is generally what rebounding is all about. You're trying to find distractions, and you're in the relationship for the wrong reasons. Yeah. So this song was born out of that. It's talking about, how good, a new relationship feels in the beginning, and when you're getting out of something that wasn't working, where you felt so terrible about yourself for so long, and then the world feels like it's open again, and it's bright, and you have somebody that loves you and is treating you better than you were getting treated before, and yeah, it feels really intoxicating and hopeful, and you feel happy in a lot of respects, until those quiet moments again. And then it creeps back in, usually. Yeah, so that's what this song is about, and generally the people around you, they know, and they're trying to be supportive, but they're aware of exactly what's going on, even if you aren't fully aware of what's going on. So that's what this song is really talking about, that you think that you're in love and that you're happy and that you're doing well, and that's what you're telling everybody, but everybody else knows you're still sad, and you're rebounding, and that you're still processing your grief, and you're still in love with someone else. So that is what Everybody Knows is about, and I seriously encourage people to take time after a breakup. I know it's so simple, it's so easy to just dive back in, and there are benefits to it in some respects, but overall it's so much better to just focus on you, and don't get anybody else wrapped up into your sadness, because invariably, usually you end up hurting someone, and that really, 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 really sucks. I remember this person's family, we were over there for a dinner, and the person's father actually flat out said to us, like, we're scared that this is a rebound relationship, and like I felt all of the air just come out of my body. And I just held my breath, and I didn't want to believe it in that moment, but they were very much right. And I think even in that moment, it made me catch my breath, and it felt so intense because it was true. Yeah, but life goes on. And we heal and we process, and everybody's fine. But thank you so much for tuning in to episode 8 of Beautiful Breakdowns, and I'll see you again next week.